today, my mod, Climb the Moon, and friend, just donated to me a hefty lot of games and consoles. So I'm just going to go through them here on stream. I thought it'd be kind of fun, little different stream to do. I have them all beside me. There's a bag of games and a couple of consoles. So we're just going to go through them all, see what we got. These are all being added to my collection. And I looked through it really quickly, and I don't think there's actually any doubles aside from the pack-in games and the consoles themselves. I don't think I actually own any of these games anymore. Some of them I used to own, but I don't anymore. But let's get into it. So, first game, we've got Alpha Mission by SNK. I'm familiar with SNK. I am not familiar with Alpha Mission, though. Looks like it's in pretty good condition, you know? Got no exterior case on it, but, you know, just cart alone. Still, pretty cool. Alpha Mission. Put that off to the side there. Perfect, yeah, that's off camera. Alright, next up, we've got Mario Bros. Arcade Classic Series. So this is the original Mario Bros. Like the arcade game, I'm guessing. I've never actually seen this as a standalone game. I don't even know if I even knew it existed as a standalone game. On the NES itself, it was always a bonus game in SMB3, and of course it was in the arcades, but I had no idea this existed as a standalone game. But it does, and now it's in my collection. That's cool. Yo, what's up, Crafter? How you doing? Now this is a big one. This is a big one right here. Got a generic case. You can probably tell already what it's going to be. But it is The Legend of Zelda. Not the greatest condition, obviously. It's got some marks on here. Probably can clean that up a little bit, actually. But some of this is just wear and tear from this. This game's pretty old. Obviously got some use. Pretty cool. That is now... That golden Legend of Zelda NES cartridge is now in my collection. Alright, next up, we have another huge one. And this is relevant today because the sequel to this game just came out. But we've got, in the Nintendo branded sleeve, Metroid. Pretty fucking cool. Pretty good conditions. Got like a little pen mark right there. Other than that, you know, pretty standard NES cart. Pretty dope. Now, this isn't a huge lot of games, but it's, you know, I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through them on stream. Now, this one, we got Slalom, which I guess is a skiing game. Never heard of it until today. It's by Rare, though. Rare made this game, so... You know, maybe it's actually a good game. I don't know. We got Slalom here. Slalom? Slalom, I guess. I'm always bad at pronouncing that word. Alright. We got another gold cartridge game here. This one's upside down. It's kind of weird. But Nintendo branded sleeve again. We pull it out. It's for some reason upside down. But it is a Micro Machines. And this one's got this weird thing in the back where it's got a different setting. I've seen this on NES games before. I don't actually own any games that have this. But like, it's got position A and position B. And when position A does not work, use position B. So, that's pretty cool. Next up, we got this fancy... I used to have a ton of these cases when I was a kid. Got that little Zeller sticker on there. R.I.P. Zellers. But you can see right through that. We got SMB2, Super Mario Bros. 2, Doki Doki Panic in Japan. Classic game. Big fan of this game. Another big one. I own SMB3 somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's got to be in my basement somewhere. I haven't been able to find it in years, so that might be one of the games that was lost to time. A bunch of my games were stolen a long time ago, and that might have been in the list of games. But I didn't think any of the NES games were stolen, but I haven't been able to find that one. But if I can find that cartridge, I will own every main series Mario game officially now. So that's pretty cool. like in physical format anyway. I own them all in digital. Why did someone steal my games? I don't know. All right, so that's it for the NES games. That's it for the NES games. We're gonna move into the SNES games now. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 2 games that actually are in the boxes. They're the pack-in games. So I might open the boxes. We'll see. So first off, for SNES, we got F-Zero. Again, another game I have never actually owned. I rented this a lot, so I actually don't own this. All of these so far are new games to my collection. I don't own any of these already, so that's pretty cool. F-Zero, SNES. All right, pretty good condition all around. Looking good. It's got like some. I can explain what this is later. Part of anyway, we'll get to it later. But anyway, it's got some black stuff here that I can clean that up pretty easily. So that's no big deal there. All right. Next up, Street Fighter 2. Blood. No, it's not blood. It's melted rubber is what it is actually. Street Fighter 2. You know, the best Street Fighter. Rip label. I was actually, if I remember correctly, I was actually with my friend when he bought this. I think he bought this used at a pawn shop just before we went on vacation, and we brought this with us on the vacation and played in the hotel room. So that's kind of cool. I've actually played on this cartridge as far as I know. I'm pretty sure this is the same one. A little bit of that black stuff was on the back of this too. That'll all get cleaned up. I can clean that up pretty easily. That's pretty cool. Street Fighter 2. All right, next up, SNES, another big title. Super Mario Kart. This is a game I did also own at one point. This one was in fact stolen. Pretty much my entire SNES collection at one point was stolen. So SNES and Genesis collections, and a bit of my PS1 collection was stolen at one point years and years ago. I'm slowly rebuilding it up, but I haven't owned this game since then, so it's pretty cool to get it back. Super Mario Kart in pretty good condition. Label's a bit worn, a little discolored, but you know, other than that, looks pretty good. Not too bad. I guess I get it better on camera. A little bit of some dingage. You can see it better on the camera actually than I can in real life. Yeah, looks good. That's the best Mario Kart in your opinion? I agree with that. I agree. Oh, my games are sticking it into the side of my camera there. That's fine. Not a big deal. All right, next we got C2 Judgment Clay, which is, I guess, a Clay Fighter 2, I guess. I guess is what C2 is. I'm sure it's Clay Fighter 2. I didn't even know if I knew Clay Fighter had a sequel. But if I probably played this too, because I remember playing Clay Fighter as well, so on that same SNES in the hotel room. So this is probably the one I played. Clay Fighter 2. Pretty cool little fighting game. Neat little game by Interplay. Next up, SNES, we got World Cup USA 94. It's a soccer game, obviously. We got this weird little, I guess, was this like the mascot of the World Cup in 94? I don't know who this dog is, but cool. I'm not huge into sports games unless they're like really arcadey, but not gonna complain about a free game, so. Alright. Finally, for SNES games, I have also never owned this version of Mario, but we got Mario All-Stars. I did rent Mario All-Stars a lot. Obviously, I own Super Mario World. I've actually owned Super Mario World like 18 times, and I own it again now because a copy of that also comes with this, but it's in the actual SNES that I got. But yeah, so you got Super Mario All-Stars. It's got a case on it. Really clean inside. The card looks good. Got a bit of that black stuff on this one too. That'll come off. And more right there. Behind my head, so you can't see it, but right there. That'll all come off. Got the little official SNES. I lost all of these too. I used to have these for all my games, and I don't know where they all went to. But yeah, there we go. Super Mario All-Stars. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of peripherals, I guess, that I got. Accessories. Some of these are just straight up cable, so I probably won't go through them. But we got this little NES joystick. I guess it goes this way. Pretty stiff, actually. A little button right here, and auto fire for the NES. So I'm guessing one of these would be the A, and one of these would be the B button. We kind of need to do like a speed run or something of SMB1 using the joystick. That's pretty cool. I have a lot of peripherals for Nintendo consoles because Nintendo likes releasing weird shit. I have no idea. This looks like it's for a wireless controller, so I'm gonna guess. Is this a wireless controller? Yeah, okay. So this is like a third-party Wavebird, essentially, for GameCube. So you got the transceiver receiver thing here. So the Wavebird is like the best GameCube controller, the official Wavebird. This looks like it's like a third party. Actually feels pretty good, and the buttons feel really good. Icon. These buttons are really stiff. These buttons feel good though. The A, B, X, Y feel good. The C actually feels better than the GameCube C. The C button and the GameCube button kind of sucks, so. Shitty D-pad though, but analog stick's nice and big. I wonder how it actually feels to play it. I'm not usually a fan of third-party controllers. They usually don't work that well. Yeah, cool. Next up, we have an actual official Nintendo GameCube controller, black. This is really good condition. Holy shit. These buttons all feel really great. This would probably go into rotation for me for when I play Smash Bros. Because I still use my GameCube controllers on Smash Ultimate because I have the adapter. Because GameCube controller is the only way to play Smash for me. I can't play Smash any other way. It's got to be a GameCube controller. Let's throw that aside. And we've got another GameCube controller. This one's not in as good a condition, but the buttons still feel good. The C button's a little dirty, but C button, dirty. Everything else, D-pad's good. These buttons are all good. Analog stick feels good. Yeah, these buttons are all working pretty well. That's pretty cool. I like it. I'm going to have to move a lot of this stuff out of the way once I get to the big stuff. Alright, what else do we got here? We've got some, looks like just GameCube memory cards, I'm going to say. That's definitely a GameCube memory card, clearly, because it says Nintendo GameCube, and it's like the standard, like, official one. These ones, I'm assuming, are also based off how... Oh, yeah, they're definitely the same. So these are all GameCube memory cards. I wonder what's on them. I'm kind of curious to throw these into my GameCube and see what's on them. I have my GameCube hooked up in the other room. So I'll be able to see what saves are on this. That's kind of neat. I'm going to guess on there's Melee on one of them for sure. What else we got? Okay, so we just got some, like, whatever, adapters. And I don't know what this is for. I don't know what this is for. It's a AC adapter for something. I don't instantly recognize this piece, so like what this, I mean, they're all pretty generic looking. All right, and that's it for that stuff. I'm going to get into some hardware. Actually, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way so I have some room as well. Because this is going to take up... These next things are going to take up a ton of room. I'm not even going to be able to show them all on camera because they're so big. So I'm just going to make some room here, get some stuff out of the way. I feel... I'll get that out of the way too. There. Just throw my mouse aside. Okay, so next up I have a backup SNES. So this is not in a box. It's just the SNES. It's pretty dirty. And this is where the black stuff comes from that's on the games. These, like, the little legs that it sits on, the little rubber pieces have melted in storage. And they kind of just melted all over some stuff. So it's still, like, it's kind of still sticky right here. A little bit sticky. So that'll come off the games. I'll be able to wash it off. Some rubbing alcohol will take all that off. And even actually all this stuff up top, this will all be super clean, easy to clean. Curious to know if it works. I can just hook it up to the one. I have an SNES set up in my room. I can just hook it in and see what happens. But now I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get this all on camera. We have. Oh, I lost my headphones. I don't even need them because I'm not even playing any sound. We have the Nintendo Entertainment System Action Set. I don't even know if I can like zoom this out further. I want to get pornographic, so Windows sounds. Yeah, move my mic over a little bit. All right. So in this box, I assume the controllers are in there. I know that the zapper's in there. The zapper is like in pristine condition, from what I'm told. And the Duck Hunt Mario game is inside this box as well, along with the NES, all the hookups. I don't know if I'm going to bother. I could probably open it up, actually. Let's just take a quick look at it. Why not? Stay there. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, it's all packed away pretty nicely. NES is there. Obviously got some yellowing there. Nothing really I can do about that at this point. Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. Actually, this I do have. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I have two NES games in my collection that I still have. Final Fantasy 1, and I think this is the other one I actually have already. So I think this is the only double so far that I've gotten. Yeah. NES. Oh, it's got some fancy stickers on the front. Everything's pretty. It's pretty good. Looks pretty good. Oh. Two controllers. The controller. I've actually never seen the controllers yellowed before. Is that a fabled NES 001? I mean, it's got the orange zapper, and the original zapper was gray. So I don't know if NES 001 is like an original NES. It is an NES 001, model number 001. I can get that on camera and have it not blurry, but you can see it right here. Model number NES 001. Mattel Canada. I assume Mattel made the zapper. If I had to take a guess, and that's where the Mattel sticker comes into play. Because there's the Mattel logo on the NES box as well. Yo, what's up, Valor? Yeah, we got the zapper. Zapper is actually in super pristine condition. Looks good. Yeah, you can see right down there. Everything looks good. 1985. 1985 Nintendo Zapper. I didn't see that episode of Storage Wars. I have never watched Storage Wars in my life, so if that's a reference to something, I don't know it. Yo, that Zapper is legit. Yes, yes it is. You missed all the games I just showed. I showed some pretty fucking sweet games. I'm like getting near the end of this. Alright, we're gonna go to the next item, and the final item. I gotta get this box put away. I feel like I'm gonna regret having taken this out, but it's gonna be awkward to put away sitting down like this. Oh my god, why did I do this? For the content. Alright. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I don't. Oh, I forgot to put the game back. Oh, well, that's actually not a big deal. I'll just put the game on the shelf with my other games. The game doesn't need to be in the box. So that's fun. I don't know why. I don't know why I was worried about that. All right. The final item is the PS5. You're giving away to one lucky viewer. Yeah, that's definitely it. And finally, a Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It is the standard version that comes with Super Mario World. One controller. Did it only come with one controller back in the day? I feel like it came with two, but maybe it just shows one controller. Let's open it up. Now I already have an NES and a Super NES. I actually have a SNES and a Super Famicom. So I currently now own 4 Super Nintendos, not including my Super NT. Alright, this is upside down, I think. Or maybe the game is just kind of upside down. Alright. So this Super Nintendo is in better condition than the other one. Other than, like, it's got the yellowing and stuff, but it's a nice gray center part. FCC ID BMC SN SCD SNES 001. So this is probably also worth $13,000. And in here we got the booklets still, actually, like all actually in really good condition. Holy shit, I didn't realize that. Got the poster, the Legend of Zelda poster. Link to the Past. And the NES controller manual. The actual instruction booklet for the Super Nintendo. And the manual for Super Mario World. Which, funnily enough, I just ordered a new one. Because I lost mine. I just ordered a new one like last week. Yeah, I would agree with that, Ned, I don't think it's the only option, but I think it's strictly speaking, I think it is the best way. Alright, so we got Super Mario World here. Wow, like I remember this manual very well. I definitely like read this manual like 100 times as a kid. Pretty fucking cool. When's the last time I played Vanilla SMW? I don't know, a couple months ago probably. Maybe a month ago. I play it pretty regularly. I did a speed run that I submitted to speedrun.com like literally in April or May or something like that. Let's see. We've got official names of things here. Let's see what jumping board. So it doesn't say a spring, just jumping board. Jump block, not a note block. Switch block, not a P switch. Message block, fair enough. That's pretty much what I call that. Rotating block, which I think everyone calls it turn block. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never heard anyone call it anything but a turn block. Grab block, yeah. Power P balloon. It's enemies, mini rhino, dino rhino. In the credits, this is called Dino Torch. I'm pretty sure this is mini rhino. Credits, I'm pretty sure they name this enemy Dino Torch. Dino Rhino, Dino Torch. So interesting that the actual manual is different. Or the good old days when your manuals came with like an actual like note section, so you could put like notes to yourself, like cheat codes and stuff. There we got obviously Super Mario World. This one's actually I think in better condition than mine. I'm gonna go grab mine real quick just to take a look. See, let's compare them. I don't have this for sure. Alright, so this is the one I just got. This is my copy of Super Mario World. Pretty similar. Right here, you can see some letters that were my initials at one point on there from when I was a kid. Oh, interesting. Interesting. The top label is different. I wonder which one is the original one. Because mine also would have been a pack-in from my Super Nintendo. So, like, it wouldn't even be the difference of one being... Oh, what do we got? SNS, USA 1. Mine's the Canadian version, apparently. This is the USA version. Mine's the Canadian version. Huh. That's kind of cool. So we got a different label on the top. Everything else is pretty much the same, other than this label in the corner, where it's SNS MW USA 1, SNS MW Can 1. Cool. You're thinking my cart looked odd? I mean, it looks... Other than the label, it looks exactly the same. Literally, other than this strip at the top. It's the only thing that's different. Okay, oh, so there's 2 controllers in here. One of them is probably an extra, though. Oh, there's 3 controllers in here. Oh, that's actually very helpful. I wonder if these buttons are good. I can use these for Kaizo if the buttons are good. These buttons feel pretty good. These might get thrown into rotation for my Kaizo controllers. These buttons actually feel good too. I haven't used an SNES controller in a while. I usually use Super Famicom controllers now. They're slightly different. The buttons are concave instead of convex. AC adapter. Got the RF unit. Got the little adapter thingy for, you know, modern TVs. And that is officially it. I think I'll put this back in. Let's go this way. Is that how, I guess it fits better that way because of the styrofoam. I don't know if that's the way it actually was in there, but I already have an SNES hooked up, so I don't need... This stuff's going to stay probably in the box for now, unless I need it as backup. Very, very yellow SNES. You've never seen them without the indent. Oh. I didn't even notice the indent. I have those. That was just kind of a hit and miss here. Some games had them, some games didn't. I didn't realize that. I didn't even notice that difference actually on that cart. And that's it. That's all we got. But yeah, have a great night, guys. This video is, I'm going to put this pretty much untouched up onto YouTube as well, so that'd be kind of a fun little YouTube video. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, be sure to like the video. And please consider subscribing to see more content like this in the future. Remember, you can catch me live most nights at twitch.tv/DefiedByDefault, and you can follow me on Twitter at DefiedByDefault as well. See you next time.